Welcome to Fun Factory Gaming. Developed by Bellring Games and published by Skystone Games, Mistfall Hunter is a third-person extraction action RPG with dynamic PvPvE set in a world of dark fantasy with strong Nordic influence.
In the held breath before the first cry, let us begin again.
Just how long do you plan on looking at that, You can look as much as you like later. Right now, you might want to run. The Gyldenmist is coming.
Announced during the Xbox Partner Preview in October 2024, the game quickly stood out for proposing something few of the genre has achieved so far: to unite the depth of an action RPG with the brutal strain of extraction mechanics. The central premise is simple in theory, but devastating in practice. You enter corrupted zones, face monsters and other players, collect equipment and treasures, and need to escape alive to keep everything you've achieved. If you die before you extract, you lose everything you've been carrying. This logic of risk and reward, already known as games such as Escape from Tarkov and Dark and Darker, gains here a new layer thanks to the combat system, oriented to combos and distinct classes, something that differentiates Mistfall Hunter quite concretely within the genre.
Who's this poor fellow? Doesn't matter. Let's see what he's got on him. Those potions can help restore your condition.
Mistfall Hunter setting is not just a decorative backdrop. The narrative of the game departs from a catastrophic event called the Great War between the gods and the outer gods. At the end of the conflict, all the deities perished, and the blood shed by the gods turned into the Gyldenmist, a corrosive force that spreads across the territory, corrupting souls, distorting reality and turning creatures into monstrous aberrations. Amid the collapse of civilization, a fragment of the goddess of destiny survived. Reborn as a mysterious figure named Dew, she roams the ruins of the mortal world, granting immortal flesh to fallen warriors. The player assumes the role of one of these re-emerged, the so-called Gylden Hunters, with a clear mission: descend to the ruins infested by the Gyldenmist, fight the corrupted, collect whatever is possible, and escape. This lore construction has a function far beyond narrative. It justifies the extraction loop within the game's fiction, and the central hub called the Camp, introduced in Beta 3, turns that space into something more than a preparation menu. It is there that the player interacts with Dew, talks to NPCs that offer missions, auctions and equipment improvements, invites friends to form groups and plans the next raids, before boarding the boat leading to the combat zones.
Only Gyldenblood can mend the world. Harvest every drop.
One of the most discussed points during community testing is precisely the design of the 5 playable classes available in Mistfall Hunter. Each carries 2 internal archetypes and very distinct behaviors in combat. The mercenary is the most suitable entry point for newbies. With good resistance to damage and direct melee combat mechanics, he teaches the fundamentals of the combat system without overly punishing positioning errors. For those who are coming to the genre for the first time, it is the safest choice. Aimed at damage to the distance, the sorcerer is technically demanding but rewards with high offensive potential. It works well both in the clean of mobs and in confrontations against bosses, as long as the player learns to manage cooldowns and positioning. The Black Arrow is a class that excels in coordinated teams, utilizing accuracy and range to control the battlefield strategically. Its learning curve is intermediate, but its potential in threesomes is remarkable. For those who prefer high-risk, high-reward gameplay, Shadow Strix offers stealth mechanics and critical blows that can change the outcome of a PvP matchup in seconds. The class requires precise reading of the environment and sharp timing, but it is devastating in the right hands.
Seek your remains. Return to the living world. A soul cannot wander alone for too long. Reclaim your body as soon as possible.
Can you hear me? You're lucky. Guild hunters who die to monsters get a second chance. A bare soul won't last long, hurrying back to your body. The springhorn. Good stuff. Grab it quick. Water from the spring instantly restores your physical condition. Take a sip. The returning chime is just ahead. We'll be out of here in no time. There's the returning chime. Go give him a ring. Follow the butterflies all the way. Even you should be able to manage that. That's a heartbeat. Someone is nearby in stealth. His stuff is all yours now.
Introduced during the April 2025 tests, the Seer class occupies the role of tactical support. With healing skills, shields, team buffs, and field control through stunning and blindness effects, it is essential in well-coordinated threesomes. However, it performs poorly in solo sessions, which makes it recommended only for players who already have a fixed group.
The tree is about to wither. Hurry up, or you'll have to start over.
Closer. Reach out. I'll pull you back.
This variety of styles creates an interesting metagame dynamic. The class choice completely changes the way you handle the environment, the monsters, and especially the other players. Mistfall Hunter combat system is one of the best crafted aspects of the project and deserves special attention. The game incorporates what developers call the aiming precision system, which adds tactical layers to the melee and distance confrontations.
Death touched and whole again. Welcome back, Guild Hunter.
I am Dew, guide of the Guild Hunters. It was I who reshaped your fate and summoned you to this camp. Your body and soul will both find sanctuary here. In the past, accepting a new fate came at an equal price. It could be anything you once held dear. But now, the fate of all things has come to a standstill. Balance has been shattered. Everything is at an impasse. Do you wish to know the path your fate once followed? A sincere answer. Yet I am powerless to show you. The Gyldenfall severed fate's connection between life and death. I can no longer glimpse what lies ahead for you. And because of that, I see greater possibility in you. I will walk alongside you until her spindle begins to turn once more. Go on, gather yourself, Guild Hunter.
Hitting enemies' weaknesses generates significant damage bonuses, and chaining light and heavy attacks efficiently requires the player to know the cadence of each class. Stamina management is central to survival. When a player runs out of stamina, he is vulnerable to heavy attacks from enemies. Well-timed locks can retain opponents, but red indicator attacks break any defense, forcing the player to retreat and reposition. Arms exchange during combat is also an important resource. Some classes carry multiple weapons with completely different styles, and knowing when to switch between them can define the output of a difficult confrontation. In matches against other players, this level of mechanics turns duels into genuine skill and game-reading disputes, not just equipment. Mistfall Hunter offers two main modes, Solo and Trio, each with two difficulty levels, Normal and Chaos. Solo mode is a pure test of individual skill, where there is no scope for resource management errors and each decision needs to be calculated. Trio mode opens up tactical possibilities for matching classes, especially when the team includes a seer for active support. The goal within each map is to collect resources, defeat enemies to secure loot, and locate the returner woodlings, elements of the scenario that allow you to collect bells needed for the extraction process.
You're back, Guild Hunter. I can no longer sense the echo of that prayer. Tell me what happened there. I see. The last follower was a blacksmith. His end should have been one surrounded in iron and fire, just as he had been in life. But the divine anchor has lost its vitality, and can no longer guide his soul homeward. If Kianos were still here, he too would mourn this poor soul. I will do my best to carry on the echo of this bell. Perhaps the praying soul can hear it and find guidance in fate once more. Thank you for your efforts, Guild Hunter. This is an invaluable finding. Once you have gained more combat experience, come find me again. I will transform it into your strength.
The more time you spend in the zone collecting valuable items, the greater the risk of finding other players on the exit path, and the greater the strain of each decision. This design creates an organic pace of pressure climbing during matches, something that extraction game players will recognize right away, but which here feels more refined by the RPG layer that permeates each interaction. From the announcement to the current moment, Mistfall Hunter has gone through 3 phases of beta, with the third round taking place in September 2025. Each test cycle brought new content, such as the introduction of the Camp Hub, the arrival of the Seer class, a new boss named General Herald, character customization systems, and adjustments based directly on player feedback. The game was available on Steam Playtest Access System, and has confirmed release for Xbox Series X and S, and PC on Steam and Microsoft Store. There is no official confirmation of versions for PlayStation 5 or Nintendo Switch, although the possibility of platform expansion has not been ruled out by Bellring Games. This iterative development model, with public betas and frequent refresh cycles, is a positive sign of studio maturity and commitment to final product quality. Mistfall Hunter is being built as a game that mixes serious PvP competition with RPG progression, and this has direct implications on its longevity. The class system with dual archetypes and the possibility of talent customization suggests that there will be room for varied builds and evolutionary metagames throughout the seasons. The social hub structure, the in-game auction system, and the presence of specific mission NPCs indicate that Bellring Games is thinking about long-term retention, not just short engagement cycles. If the progression systems are well calibrated in the final version, the game has real potential to build a dedicated player base. The biggest challenge the title will face is the inevitable comparison with Dark and Darker, which has already consolidated an audience within the niche extraction RPG with medieval fantasy. The differentiation of Mistfall Hunter goes through the fluidity of third-person combat, the narrative richness of the Gyldenmist world, and the diversity of classes, elements that will need to be clearly communicated to attract both veterans of the genre and new players. For those who follow the RPG action market carefully, Mistfall Hunter is exactly the kind of project that deserves to be on the radar. With solid foundations of game design, transparent development, and a well-built visual and narrative identity, the game has the right ingredients to become a reference within the RPG extraction genre in the coming years.
Quickly! Follow those butterflies to our woodling fringe.
And that's the end of this episode. Please let me know if you enjoyed it in the comments. Please share, like, and subscribe. Until my next video, thank you for your support.